The account Jacob Wild, at first glance, looks like nothing more than your typical schizo poster. 146 subscribers, no profile picture, no description, and 1K videos. But what makes this channel so interesting? With his first video being posted only 4 months ago, and his most popular video garnering 43,000 views, this channel immediately caught my attention just by how strange it is. It takes the same frame almost every single video, and in most frames you see him smoking cigarettes. I presume the man in the videos is Jacob, the owner of the channel. And throughout the videos, they're very odd. You almost never hear any noises throughout all of the videos. You can see that every single video is always titled exactly the same. It always is titled Neighbors Above, the comments are removed, and the description leaves blank. When you watch these videos, most of the time you'll see Jacob smoking a cigarette and playing some type of video game. The videos are extremely quiet, they go on from anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes, and occasionally, within the description, Jacob will have a timestamp of when the noises are that the neighbors are apparently making noises. However, pulling up the audio wavelength for this video, you can tell that there is almost no audio within this video. It is very quiet for almost the entire thing, and this is a theme for basically every single video on this guy's channel. I think it's safe to assume that with the title of these videos, this person is just trying to record their upstairs neighbors being noisy, presumably to share with their landlord because they do not believe them. I don't know what else this person would be trying to gain out of this. However, it does remind me of a weird thing that is on YouTube, and that is a smoking fetish. This is a real thing, and this definitely reminds me of it, as the guy always lights up his cigarette in frame, sits dead center in camera, and smokes his cigarettes. There's a video on his channel where there's absolutely no audio. I think one time through the entire video we hear one little thump. There is almost no audio in this recording. So this guy must be genuinely convinced that his neighbors are being that loud. Either that, or is he completely hallucinating what his neighbors are doing upstairs? I just find it so bizarre that he always makes it a habit to smoke right there on camera. As an example, ASMR smoking videos get like millions of views. Also, there are plenty of these smoking ASMR videos that gay guys will watch because they like the men in the videos smoking. It is strange that it is more commonly men and not women in the videos. Even if these videos are exactly what they look like, which is a man trying to set up a documentation of all the times his neighbors have been noisy, I feel like he doesn't have much room to complain. I'm not sure if it's in a different country or not, and I'm not sure where it's located, but how many places can you smoke inside of the building and still complain about somebody else being loud? These are usually rules that go hand in hand when you live in an apartment building. I guess one of the most bizarre things about this for me was when I searched smoking, just because there was a lot of smoking in this guy's channel, and found that on YouTube there are so many videos where it is just ASMR smoking. It's quite a strange trend, and I'm not sure who's watching it, but most of these videos get millions of views. I guess people who really like cigars might watch it, but don't you think you'd watch a review of a different type of cigar, and not just somebody smoking the cigar with no talking or anything? It's quite strange. .3GP is a strange search term on YouTube. Upon typing this in and scrolling down, you will see some videos some that look kind of concerning, and others that are just low resolution videos. The thing about this is that it's not your typical YouTube search term where you type it in to be shocked. .3GP is a type of file type that renders out videos. It is kind of like MP4, but a worse version, used for legacy devices or mobile devices in general. The videos are always grainy because they have to load on those older devices. But why do you find such strange stuff when you type this in? You see, sometimes you'll come across a dumb video like this, titled idiot.3gp. As you can see, the video is pretty harmless and pretty tame, something you might expect for a video uploaded 16 years ago. This type of comedy was pretty prevalent around then. But when stuff starts to get strange is when you come across these types of videos that I'm talking about. Like this video, for instance, that's titled Towards the Death.3gp. The video is short and you can barely hear there is somebody breathing in the video, presumably the man on screen, as the title is Towards the Death. Presumably the man in the video is headed towards his death. Now this is a strange trend in and of itself on YouTube. Hospice nurses will record their patients close to death or dying as research and then upload it on YouTube. But that's a video for a different time. What you're looking at on screen is a search that I made with .3gp. This is only one of the searches I made. In order to make this video, I recorded this one. However, one of my first times searching this search term, I came across something extremely grim that I couldn't believe was on YouTube. And that's really what this whole entire section comes down to. Now, I wish I would have been recording when I first searched this search term, because only the third result was what I'm about to show you guys. Now, even though this exists straight on YouTube, I feel like I still need to blur it. But this gave me a playlist of just straight up autopsies. I couldn't believe that this was on YouTube, just out there in the open for anybody to accidentally find. Most of these videos have millions of views, completely uncensored thumbnails, and totally uncensored videos. I watched a couple of them and they are real and full autopsies. Looking in the description of one of the videos, it is claiming that it is legally obtained from a hospital record, but it never states anywhere that this is for educational purposes, which is the reason I believe that YouTube would leave it up in the first place, and that it has so many views, potentially from people wanting to learn watching this. I found it really odd that I was fed this as my third result on search, even though none of these videos have .3gp in the title. There's very little reason that it should have fed me this playlist of videos. It doesn't have anything to do with the search term that I've said, and also I don't watch videos about medical stuff whatsoever, so there's no reason that even the AI would have thought that I needed to see this. This also reminds me of a trend that I see happening on YouTube right now. There are many animators who are animating gore videos. Either they'll animate the gore video and then place the audio from the actual gore into the video, so it is technically not the original gore video, but the audio is still there. Or they'll just use the thumbnails from shocking gore videos to draw you in, and then draw the gore videos with stick figures or something. The reason I'm not making an entire segment on that and only relating it to this is that this is just one way around YouTube's filter, is to animate the gore instead of just uploading it fully. However, some of the channels are still being removed, it just takes a while. But some of them are living on for quite a while. Something about running into this autopsy playlist without even a reason reminded me of all these gore videos. While looking at different animations, YouTube does eventually just feed you some of the most obscure animations on their platform, and some of these might be hidden gore videos. I think that's definitely a growing trend on YouTube, and of course that'll always be a thing online. Everyone is always trying to get that gore to be all over surface web, instead of having to look deep for it. This will never go away. Gore will always exist for us, but it doesn't need to be right on the main platform. I think it's bizarre that it still is able to, and even with the use of AI, it's not good enough to get rid of these channels quickly, as they live, in many cases, for over a year or more before they are removed. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed a more strange video from me instead of like creepy or disturbing, but these are some strange trends that I wanted to cover, so I figured I would. If you know of any strange trends, drop them in the comments. I'll read about them, take a look at them. Yeah. See ya.